Hey, welcome back. My name is Daniel still. This is Metal Sharpens Metal still. This is the second video in a two-part series where I am going over some of my favorite Christmas songs and putting them in a tier list. That is right. I am ranking them according to my opinions and maybe making some people upset. Maybe I'm not ruffling any feathers at all. But I don't really mind. This is going to be the list of secular classics that we all know and love. The last video was focusing more on Christmas hymns and some of the more spiritual Christian side of things during Christmas. Imagine that. Is there a connection between Christianity and Christmas? Who's to say? I don't know. But yeah, these songs will not be making any of those links, any of those comparisons. They will be talking about snow and frosty and cocoa and chestnuts and Frosty the Snowman, and Santa. Lots of Santa. So anyway, let's jump into these from a Christian metalhead's perspective, and we will see how much you guys agree. All right, and as with the last one, if I am aware of a really cool metal version, I will let you know in the spirit of giving.
It's going to be a Kenny Chesney Christmas this time of year.
So let's start off with a great solid hit, Jolly as Heck. Great way to kick off the season. It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas. Put that at a solid A. Not much to say. All right, next we have Last Christmas by Wham. Yeah, the band you've maybe never heard of. I don't know, maybe have you? This one, it is overplayed. My gut tells me C. I hear it a lot. It's not super special in my opinion. Sorry. Okay, next is Deck the Halls. Deck the Halls, it's going to go into a B. There's some decent nostalgia with movies like A Christmas Story and The Office.
La 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 la. Hey!
If you know, you know. There's some laws included, but it's just not super special in my opinion. All right, White Christmas, Bing Crosby. Let's see that one. I would say A. Yeah, there's another guy named Hugo Winterhall. I would recommend his version, very orchestral and kind of big band, old school version. Also, that was a song that my sister learned on the piano. That was one of like her first ones that she wanted to learn, and she did this kind of jazzy note displacement, and our minds were just like simultaneously blown because she took the song and it felt like she mastered it and made it her own, and we just locked on to that concept. Also, White Christmases, they're just fun. Like to have snow falling while Christmas Day. Here's an interesting question. My wife thought that a White Christmas was there's snow on the ground on Christmas Day. But in my opinion, it's when the snow is falling. Is there a divide on this point? Am I right? Is she right? Let me know what you think. But yeah, the concept of a White Christmas feels like Christmas time. All right, next is Carol of the Bells. Now, I know that some churches play this song around Christmas time. You might be triggered that I'm calling it a secular song, but even with the lyrics, you have to admit that they don't really mention the point of Christmas. So I stand by this choice being in this list instead of the other. Obviously, though, it is still a massive banger, and I'm going to put it up here. Wait, what is this picture? What is this picture that looks strikingly like this picture with a hand holding a candle? Yeah, my favorite versions of Carol of the Bells include August Burns Red, their version here. It's so good. It brings me back. I learned it on drums. It's probably the highlight of my 2007 Christmas. Yeah, that's amazing. Other favorite version is the Home Alone version. They do have the singing in that one. So yeah, I love that song. All right, we got I'll Be Home for Christmas by Elvis Presley here specifically. I'm going to put it as a B. It's not a bad song overall. It's a bummer because it makes me think of people's work schedules where they have to work on Christmas and they have to be away from their families. And that's a bummer. So, I mean, I guess it's good that they have an anthem that they can latch onto. I don't know if that makes you happier or sadder. It also does remind me of the theme in pretty much every 90s Christmas movie. That song is played in a lot of them. All right, next is Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, Frank Sinatra version. Yeah, that's a solid S. I that one I get it actually mixed up with the Christmas song by Nat King Cole. I get it mixed up in my head sometimes, but love that one. Really feels like a necessary part of the season. All right, and then after that, we're gonna bust out I Saw Mommy Kissing Santa Claus. You can probably tell by the tone of my voice, it is not my favorite, and especially after we just went over that Sacred Sinatra song. Come on, that is not where I'm going with this. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in the D spot. I get that the meaning of the song is like, dad is Santa Claus. He's putting the presents under the tree. Mom gives him a kiss. The kids are confused. Okay, fine. It has been taken in some creepy ways. You have to admit, some people have made it weird for whatever reason. It also is just kind of devoid of any cheer or spark of joy for me. So yeah. All right, we have the ever-present classic, All I Want for Christmas Is You by Mariah Carey. It is a solid bop. Like I kind of want it to be an A minus, but it is overplayed in the malls, and we're gonna go B. If mall speakers could be like LCD TV screens where they get like an image burned into them if you played it too long, then all of those speakers would just look like Mariah Carey's face, just smiling down at you from the ceiling of every mall in America. So yeah, that one's gonna be a B minus for me, unfortunately. All right, next we have the all right, Happy Christmas, War is Over, John Lennon. You know what? It's a C. And it's not a D because I do think it's funny how Brits say Happy Christmas. You got Happy Christmas, Ron.
Happy Christmas, Harry.
And it's fun. Like, okay, fine, that reminds you he's British or whatever. But yeah, it's just that song, whatever. And if you don't like that opinion, you're gonna love this opinion because Wonderful Christmas Time by his bro. Yeah, that's a D. I like it even less. So it gets less. Talk about overplayed as well. And I don't hate Paul because this song is overplayed at the mall. It gets overplayed at the mall because I hate Paul. Name that reference. All right. Next one, we have Winter Wonderland. I know I've got it right here. Don't tell me. And lol, just like anyone would do, I mixed up Winter Wonderland and White Christmas because I can't read these tiny little things with my overaged eyes apparently. So okay. White Christmas was the one that my sister learned on piano, not Winter Wonderland. I'm going to put that up there. Winter Wonderland is also an A. It's also an A rating. Good memories, fun activities in the song. It's a fun song. All right, next, Blue Christmas. Okay, similar to I'll Be Home for Christmas, in my opinion. I am going to put it down at a C just to kind of make a call. Like, I'm not going to make everything be a B where I can't decide. Yeah, it's one of those songs that makes me think of a 90s movie where the main character is eating a piece of pie by himself in a Denny's on Christmas morning, and the waitress comes up and goes, "Don't you have a family?" And he gives a sad smile and says, "I thought I did, but not this year." Or maybe he just says no because he doesn't want to talk to her or whatever. But no, you don't have to feel bad for him because he was the high-powered exec at a workaholic New York City company, and he pushed the family away with his workaholism. And so he did this to himself. You don't have to worry about him. But yeah, I at least do like the kind of country bluesy feel in that song. So that part's nice. All right, we have a song where the name and the chorus kind of get mixed up in my head, but Christmas in parentheses, Baby Please Come Home. Yeah, that one's fun. You know what? I'm actually going to go to A. That's a snap decision. It was going to be a B rating for me, but no, it's pretty solid. And again, speaking of 90s movies, you got the references there for sure. We Wish You a Merry Christmas. Yeah, I'm going to go with a C. It makes me kind of happy when it comes on, but then it gets old kind of quick. So yeah, we're just gonna move past that one. All right, Breathe Again. You've probably never heard of this song. That's okay. This is a song by a band called The Reign of Kindo. I'm going to an A rating, by the way. It is a lesser known band I mentioned in the last video, but they are very good. They make they make Christmas, like covers of Christmas songs, like other Christmas songs that you have heard of. But this song you should go listen to and read the lyrics. it's a little interesting. It takes place on Christmas morning. It depicts the dad learning that there was a break-in in the night, the thief stole all the presents, and then the rest of the song kind of recounts the questionable morality that the father has when tracking down and giving cement shoes to said thief. So, yeah, questionable morality, sweet little bop. It's a fun one. You should listen to it either way. Okay, moving on, we've got Jingle Bell Rock. Yes. Let's see, we've got this one here. Okay, Jingle Bell Rock, S tier. Reminds me of Home Alone. There's almost not much more to say. S tier movie gets S tier song reference. It's simply a banger. Like that's kind of how it is. And then to go to the opposite end of the spectrum, Jingle Bells itself. Sorry, kids, it's gonna be a D tier for me. It's kind of like the perpetual toddler brother of Jingle Bell Rock. It's not my favorite. A little childish. We're all adults here, I think. We can handle it. Okay, Feliz Navidad, the Mexican cousin for our Christmas song lists. I put that one at a B. And I will say sometimes my mean Christmas weather maxing part of my brain likes to think of all the sad people and how sad they are when they don't get to experience snow, when they don't get to have a snow-covered pine tree in their state during the month of December. I mean, all they have is perfect weather and moisturized skin and enough sun to make sure that their vitamin D levels don't go too low and they don't get depressed. Why would I be jealous of any of that? All right, Let It Snow. I'm gonna, I thought I was gonna go a little higher. It's fun, it's familiar, it's great, but it's gonna go to the C range because I even if it sounds a little bit harsh, it's an example of like a simple song that I just kind of don't need when I have songs like Winter Wonderland in my belt. I'm not sure if that's gonna make sense, but yeah, that's where that one's going. All right, Santa Claus is coming to town. You know what? I actually have its own tier for this one.
Oh, wow, jeez.
I mean, this song, the lyrics, they go too far. Santa is no king. Like, I bow my knee to no Claus, etc., etc. It's an F. I'm sorry. I don't want that. I don't want that song in my ears anymore. Hey, guess what? Even if you didn't think that last one should be an F, this next one is an F too. Santa Baby. Get out of here with that.
Nobody likes you.
I don't need you making questionable morality. Like, it's kind of like the last song, but make it creepier. Like, why? What are you doing? What are you doing? I prefer my questionable morality straight up, please. Breathe Again by Kendo. Not Santa Baby, where it can become overly. Ugh. We don't need it. Let's get back on track of what actually does spark joy in our hearts. We are going to Nat King Cole's The Christmas Song. It's in the name. Okay, I'm going to put it, how do I get it all the way to the front? It's going to the front. That one, I mean, not only has your palate been cleansed from the last two, but this song is so strong. It feels so necessary for the season that, and it applies to every mood and situation. It warms your heart, it makes you happy. Even if you don't think it warms your heart, it's doing that. You just might not recognize it because you are Scrooge McDuck. And that's on you. So, yeah, one of the best Christmas songs on the secular side of all time. Easy. All right, next one is going to be Frosty the Snowman. Now, I have a picture here that does not encapsulate the view I have of this particular song, because it's going back to the old school, movie version, all that stuff. Yeah, it's a solid A plus. And normally I would rate it a lot lower. It's a little bit, infantile, things like that. But August Burns Red has a version of this song that is undeniable. It's got some double time drums that morph into blast beats. Like, if you take that song and play it on headphones and then put those headphones around the top of a frozen Christmas tree in Finland, the tree will catch on fire. Like, it's not just gonna melt the snow. The tree is actually gonna burn. So you have to be ready for that one. All right, Up on the Housetop. Okay, singing about Santa and stuff. It's a little mundane. I'm gonna put it down to C. But again, the ABR version of this one, which is the picture I chose, just makes it so much better. So yeah, would recommend to listen to their version for sure. Then we have Tennessee Christmas by none other than Amy Grant. Where are my 90s youth group kids? This is going to go straight to the S tier for me. Very calming. I've never actually lived in or been to Tennessee, so the fact that I want to move there almost solely based on this song, you can call that expert advertising if you want, but that's how that song makes me feel. Okay, then we have a few of my favorite things. I scratched my own head. I was like, who considers this a Christmas song? It's going to be a C tier, by the way. I don't know why they're calling it a Christmas song. Is it because they mentioned silver bells or like little, sashes on presents once? Like, come on. I think it also gets overplayed. Sue me.
I shouldn't say that jokingly because she will sue me.
Plus, like, it's just, you need the winter. There's no winter. There's no Christmas spark in there. I rest my case. I've said enough. All right, we have NSYNC, Merry Christmas. Straight to S tier. That's going to be probably second place right there behind the Christmas song by Nat King Cole. I'm sorry, if you don't like my 90s boy band pick, then I can't hear you because all of the nostalgic memories that come with it are playing through my mind. So just enjoy stuff. I don't want to hear your negativity right now. Speaking of negativity, a song that I think has maybe gotten a little too much backlash is Baby It's Cold Outside. I know there's a lot of different versions. I'm going to put it in C tier, and that's not because I'm like, whining about the modern day issue or whatever is going on. It's whatever. The song feels a little bit whiny from the guy's perspective. He sounds kind of weak and uncommitted to this girl. He's just like, what if I, Anyway, it's kind of an eye roll for me. Okay, moving on. Next is going to be Silver Bells by Dean Martin here, or at least his version is great. That's an A tier. Love it. It's a great classic melody. Makes me think of, New York back in the glory days.
I know. I love it there.
No, you don't know until you live there. There's something about waking up every morning and just being in that city.
Yeah, last time I was there, I had a lot of fun.
No, you can't imagine it though.
Sounds great.
No.
Again, not that I live there. It just kind of like gives you that mental picture of all that. We're getting close to the end here. I wanted to mention Auld Lang Syne. How do you say that as a Celtic person? Look, it's a solid song. It's a great song. I'm gonna have to leave it B tier though, only because it is not really a Christmas song. Again, it just has a strong association to the season, and it's also in one of my favorite Christmas movies, It's a Wonderful Life. So that's a good thing. And then I'm just gonna sneak in a little song by George Winston here called Thanksgiving. I'm just gonna do that real quick. Okay, that's gonna go right there. Yeah, look, okay, I know it's called Thanksgiving. He's the one that put it on an album called December. And, really, the memories around that song are just far too strong for me to deny. If you haven't heard it, go give him a listen. Thanksgiving by George Winston. It's great. Maybe it's not going to impact you the same way it did for me, but it's a real one. You need to be aware of that song, I think. Other honorable mentions go to Leslie Odom Jr. and some of the Lindsey Sterling versions. If you haven't heard her, she's like the crazy violinist lady. My wife actually was the one who introduced me to a few of those last year, and she is fanatic.
The co-workers are fanatic about it. They just can't have enough.
And let me just point out again here, I forgot to mention this, but August Burns Red versions. Yes, that is a picture of Jake dressed as Mariah Carey when August Burns Red did their version. Yeah, they are the meme masters. They really lean into it. You'll love it. And Kings of Christmas Metal yet again. All right, and before we go, wanted to do a bonus round of some of my favorite movie-based songs. Let's start with You're a Mean One, Mr. Grinch. That's going to A. I would put it A plus. It might have been higher if the kids didn't request it so much in the car every Christmas season. We do play it a whole lot. The OG version with Thurl Ravenscroft is epic, almost as epic as his name. His voice is otherworldly, by the way, but the Jim Carrey version is very good. He just sounds like 4 different vocalists. He's super skilled in that one. So, yep, love that one. We've got the Elf theme. Yeah, that's going straight to the top. So dang jolly. It's really good. Home Alone theme. Straight to the top. It's John Williams is an absolute unit. He cannot be stopped. He wrote the music for that and for half of your childhood, so you should respect him. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. We're gonna put that B. It's it gets a little bland now. The movie's great. The movie's awesome. The song's just a little bit bland. Harry's Wondrous World and kind of the Hogwarts Christmas theme, like they all kind of go together for me. A to S really. I'm gonna say S just because it's so good. And John Williams also wrote those, and he is a literal attack helicopter that is made out of Abrams tanks. He's unstoppable. He is the only unit. He's the only one. And finally, Die Hard, the terrorist theme or whatever song from that one. I don't know. It's just, I know it's not a Christmassy song. You can't like hum it in your head right now, but Die Hard is one of the top Christmas movies. And I will fight to the death about that. All right, so as you can see, I spent a little time on this. It got kind of dark outside while we were filming. But yeah, let me know if I missed any of your favorite versions of the songs or any of your favorite Christmas songs. I think I remembered most of them. Next week, I plan to be back with a very special Christmas song that you may or may not be familiar with, and I think it's capable of warming you right down to your bone marrow. You are probably going to love it if you have any appreciation for Christmas or metal or Jesus. It's got it all. So prepare yourself for that. And yeah, I'll see you then. Bye. This is like one by one pixel. This is pretty dim. I feel grainier than Ezekiel bread right now. I don't know how to. Apparently can't be bothered to turn on a light, but that's okay. This is where I'm at.